A lot of people know the big names when it comes to notoriously bad movies, but what about the lesser known ones? Those hidden gems of crap. I've spotlighted a few of those on this channel. You know, Blood Beat, Champagne and Bullets, Creatures from the Abyss. Well, the movie I'm going to talk about today is such a shining example of what the hell were they thinking cinema that I'm surprised it's not more famous, or infamous, I guess. Prepare yourselves for Nightmare Weekend.
You are a nightmare, you have a hold on me, you move in silence, you do not speak to me.
So when it comes to infamously bad movies, a lot of them have one thing in common. They're all attempts to crack the American movie market made by a wacky foreign guy. Think Tommy Wiseau with The Room, Claudio Fragasso with Troll 2, YK Kim with Miami Connection, James Wynn with Birdemic, the list goes on. Well, the wacky foreign guy behind Nightmare Weekend is French director Henri Sala, who is mainly known for making softcore pornographic films. In fact, not only was Nightmare Weekend his only film in English, it was also the second to last movie he ever made. The movie's production was troubled from the very start. Despite being filmed in Florida and using American and British actors, Sala and most of the film crew were French and barely spoke any English. The cast also had to read from a script that was originally written in French that was then awkwardly translated into English, which also ended up getting rewritten so many times during filming that pretty much everyone involved had no idea what the hell was going on. And despite having a cast of English speakers and sound that was recorded live, a decision was made later to dub everyone over with new voices. Finally, while the bulk of the movie was filmed in 1984, numerous reshoots to add more gore meant that it didn't get released until 1986 when it was picked up for distribution by Troma. The result of all this chaos somehow manages to be even more of a B-movie clusterfuck than you think it would be, which is really saying something. And if you still don't believe me, just look at how it begins. Hey, that's the kind of seamless editing you'd normally find in a Turkish B-movie. And here's another thing this movie has in common with the Turkish movies I've done on this show. That's right, random puppets showing up. We're only a minute into this and already I have no idea what the hell is going on.
So what does she want? Access to the mainframe?
Okay, apparently these two are trying to hack into a satellite dish, so I don't know, they can get free HBO or something?
Kind of control unit, come in.
Okay, rotate the dish and hook up the box.
No way I'm paying $15 a month just to watch The Beastmaster. However, the security used by this place is hardcore, and I'm talking phantasm hardcore. Okay, so to catch everybody up, a guy was killed by a flying pinball that I think was made by a hand puppet, and we're not even at the opening credits yet. You starting to see why I picked this movie? Well, there's only one way to follow an intro like that, with an 80s ballad.
You are a nightmare, you have a hold on me, you move in silence, you do not speak to me.
Okay, not as catchy as Against the Ninja, but it's a hell of a lot better than the Shimmy Slide, that's for sure. And in case you still didn't know it's the 80s.
Limo's coming to pick us up. Famous scientist's daughter, you don't have to worry about money.
Hey, they're doing my favorite 80s fitness trend, cocainercise. Well, that's enough exercise for one day. We gotta get back to the plot. Whatever the hell it is.
I don't want to smell any booze on your breath. Got it?
Yeah, well, too bad, lady. I gotta get through this movie somehow. You know what? This movie's still not 80s enough yet. So to fix that, let's have a guy who looks like Rick from Pod People walk into an arcade with a Walkman and talk to a guy with a John Holmes mustache. Throw in an extra from an 80s metal video while you're at it.
You're quantity, and I'm quality.
Nobody in this movie's quality, pal. I would say what the story is, but I'm still trying to figure that out myself. For example, this guy has a flashback to a completely different biker movie where people fight over $20 in a coffee can. Oh, he's remembering the night his bike was tragically killed in a car accident.
It was an accident, Ken. Stop blaming yourself.
Yeah, stop blaming yourself for that other storyline we haven't properly established yet.
You've got to understand,
I'm sorry about what happened.
I'd be sorry too if I knew what the hell you were talking about. Alright, maybe this movie will make more sense as it goes along.
I almost forgot to tell you. Annie said to give you a big kiss. Aw.
Nope, still don't know what's happening. Good God, I was not expecting a movie called Nightmare Weekend to be like Mr. Dress-Up by way of Samurai Cop. This chick does have a pretty sweet gaming setup though. Not only does she have a ColecoVision racing game, but she's also able to control cars in real life and speed up the film. If Twitch had been around in the 80s, she probably could have made some decent money. Okay, so there's another thing that just happened. Well, that's enough of that. Back to the 80s barcade. Hey babe, I ever tell you I got the high score in Sinistar? Holy crap, I can't believe that worked. Never did for me. And just what is the deal with this weird computer?
It's a remarkable achievement. Apache is the most powerful machine ever constructed.
Ah yes, Apache, the most advanced video game console of the 80s. Okay, we're about 20 minutes in. Let me try to give something of a plot setup here. So there's a scientist called Dr. Brake who's invented a supercomputer called Apache, which can apparently make these little flying pinballs that when ingested can alter bad behavior in animals, but they can also kill people too. Dr. Brake's assistant Julie wants to test it on people and invites some local college girls to the doctor's mansion to use as test subjects, but she also secretly wants to sell Apache to some shady guy who they never name or even really say who he is. There's also Dr. Brake's daughter Jessica, who's friends with a sock puppet named George, who I think is also connected to Apache. I'm not really sure. Oh, and Julie has an accomplice named Ken, who Jessica has the hots for.
Everybody got that?
By the way, because this movie's so bad at establishing things, I had to look up a plot synopsis to confirm a lot of that, and even it was full of a lot of, maybe that's what's happening. Meanwhile, Jessica and Julie are having a contest to see who can look the most 80s in a different way. Hot pants roller skate 80s or shoulder pad 80s? But please, tell us more about your experiments, Doc.
Do you still think that loss of inhibitions and suppression of fear is dangerous?
I just don't know.
Are we sure they're not just experimenting with cocaine? Because I'm pretty sure that's what everyone who made this was doing. Look, even the background's telling me to enjoy coke. Jessica has a little meet cute with Ken, but he's not the only one getting lucky tonight. Oh, baby, I want to go full the accused on you. Yeah, I joke, but that's pretty much what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm totally gonna get the high score. Oh look, that guy's soda just prematurely ejaculated. And this guy's still not done. He even harasses Jessica.
What about you, huh? Don't you want to take on the pinball wizard?
Hey, not a chance, pal. She won't get fooled again. Anyway, how are the experiments going at the doc's place?
This is rough. Eating, drinking, never lifting a finger.
Okay, I already mentioned Twitch, but apparently this movie also thought of Insta-Ho collab houses before they were actually a thing. But instead of creating content, Jessica would rather hang out with her puppet.
George, I need some info. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm cold, hot, up, down. I'm happy. Do you understand?
Or maybe you're just high.
Now I want to be with him. I want to be with him, George.
Jessica seems pretty smitten with Ken, considering all she did was awkwardly fall in front of him and then leave.
He's gorgeous. Such eyes.
Well, I guess he does have movie star looks. That's Dale Midkiff from Pet Sematary, which is a lot more than I can say for the actress playing Jessica, who was in this movie, and that's it. I am glad this movie includes some character development, though.
I know how hard it's been since Mom died. You had to do everything. Be my mom and dad.
Yeah, hopefully the breastfeeding wasn't too awkward there, sweetie. They also cut back to the arcade bar a lot. I can see why, though. This place serves booze on white bread sandwiches. Yeah, take that, things. This movie cuts out the middleman and combines alcoholism with white bread. And I don't know what experiments they're supposed to be running here. One girl invites the same Bruno Kirby-looking dude back to the house before taking a shower. Then one of the flying pinball things kills her, I think. Okay, never mind. I guess by improved behavior, they mean they get them really horned up and also do their eyeliner. And I'd be careful if I were you, pal. There's a look that says, if I go down on you, you're getting your dick bit off. And guess what happens after this? Okay, sure. Jesus, everyone in this house seems ready to bone.
So you don't like spiders, How about butlers?
Ooh, you want to play spiders? I'm no fly.
What the hell is this movie?
Something's fishy. I want to get out of here.
I don't think that was in the script. I think that was the actors realizing what they signed up for. My guess is this happened sometime after they noticed the puppet.
Find a way for me to meet him.
Probabilities for other meeting. Hitchhiking. 66%.
Hitchhiking. That's it. Thanks, George.
No, don't go hitchhiking in a movie like this. It only leads to trouble.
Lonely baby. Want some pinball action?
I also do ColecoVision action if that's what you're into. Yeah, that's right, Jessica. That's what you get for listening to a hand puppet.
I'm a nice guy. Now let's see what you've got. Bitch!
Danger! Danger!
I'll say danger. It looks like this guy's favorite rom-com is I Spit on Your Grave. Quick, better call Batman.
You didn't feed the dog? Yeah, sure. I'll be glad to.
Wow, that guy seems really concerned with his daughter's safety. Thankfully, Ken's there to save her. What does it say that this guy being in RoboCop 3 is still less embarrassing than this movie? And I guess in addition to the pinball things correcting bad behavior, they can also kill people from miles away? What exactly are the purpose of these things? No, they can help people, or brutally murder them, depends on the situation. Okay. Whatever. And once again, if you need a reminder of both how this movie was made and how it should be viewed, here you go. Getting rescued by Ken seems to have only deepened Jessica's attraction to him. I guess she just can't resist his rugged, funnel-chested charm. Hey, you know something else this movie needs? That's right, a random tarantula. 'Cause why not? Even when this movie goes into exposition mode, it's confusing.
You know the deal. I speed up the experiment and betray an honest man. You give me a third of the profits and $500,000 up front.
Okay, you want to tell me who you're betraying him to? Is it another scientist? A representative for a shady corporation? I mean, who the hell's interested in flying killer pinballs? I mean, other than this guy, maybe.
I asked you a simple question. Why can't you answer?
I'm his colleague, not his secretary.
Okay, guess that answers that.
That's the house where Bob was killed.
Alright, I guess Bob was the guy from the opening scene. It doesn't really matter, since I can't tell if this guy's distraught over that or the biker from the flashback. Are they the same person? Whatever. In any case, Ken's busy trying to unleash his balls on Jessica. Speaking of which, the guys from the bar come back to the house. Time to liven up this experiment.
Things that bother you never bother me. I feel happy and fine. Ha-ha!
Yeah, now it's a party.
First time I saw you, I just thought you were terrific.
I mean, just really swell. You made my heart go golly gosh gee whiz. Oh, and did I mention the director of this movie also had a background in softcore pornography? Okay, I guess I can see why he was hired to direct this. You know the old saying, if you can't give people a coherent story, give them some overly long sex scenes. Here's one difference between this movie and Phantasm. The silver balls in that movie didn't hide in sugar when people were having their morning coffee. And that's not even the weirdest part of this scene. So I guess seeing a spider causes her to frantically drink coffee? You know, instead of correcting behavior, it seems all these silver ball thingies do is kill people. Oh, never mind. I guess she loves spiders now. Meanwhile, looks like these two finally finished having sex. And remember when I said this movie was made by people who didn't really have a grasp of the English language?
I'm walking on air. Is it your fault? I wondered if it's you that's making me feel so fine, so deep down good.
Wow, you can barely tell. And if the balls are supposed to correct people's behavior, maybe they can get this guy to not eat panties he picks up off the floor. Well, that was another inexplicable scene. What else is going on?
Oh, how I like being so close to him.
Jesus Christ, even Tommy Wiseau would tell this movie to cool it with the sex scenes. And this cringy-ass dialogue.
I feel his heart is calling me. I know now that he really loves me. His eyes only telling me that he loves me.
Nightmare Weekend. Gasp in terror as the plot defies all logic. Speaking of which, in addition to flying around and killing people, the silver ball thingies can also turn into ice cubes. So I guess they're just magic? Makes about as much sense as anything else in this movie.
So tell me, Annie, how do I make love to a ghost?
Well, just try and think about baseball so you don't shoot your ectoplasm too early, pal. You know, I wonder, as the actors were filming this, did any of them go, what the hell is this? What exactly am I doing? Or were they just so happy to be in a movie, any movie, that they were willing to do pretty much anything? Anyway, Julie informs her benefactor about the results, although I still have no idea who this is supposed to be.
Were the subjects totally transformed?
Yes, it was horrible, but it works.
So what exactly is the guy they're talking to's plan? Is he trying to take over the world, or make money? Who the hell wants the patent on flying killer death pinballs?
What the hell are you doing? What's going on here?
Yeah, that's what I was just asking. And guess what? Turns out everyone's asking that question.
What the hell's going on here?
You know, I think what the hell's going on here could have been one of the quotes on the back of the VHS box.
I want it at 100%.
Julie, you've gone crazy. You don't know what it could do to these kids.
I don't know what it's doing to them now.
It could destroy them, turn them into neuropaths.
I don't know what the hell that is, but the time has come for Dr. Brake to stop Julie once and for all. Or not. And I think I just figured out what a neuropath is. It's some rejects from an Italian zombie movie. They also ooze green liquid, so there's a Troll 2 similarity.
They're eating her! And then they're going to eat me! Oh my God!
I'm not surprised these things are killing people, considering how dumb most of the characters are.
Annie?
If she's mutated on her left, how did you not see that? Damn, how is Dr. Brake gonna put a stop to all this? Oh, he just cuts the power to the computer. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Oh my god, I can't believe my experiments to control people's minds with phantasm balls went so... about how you would expect, actually. And would you please do something about Julie instead of just pointing and mildly scolding her?
How are you going to explain all this horror to the police?
She's got a point. I've had a hard time explaining it, and I'm just watching it.
You're just another mad scientist. A millionaire quack.
Hey, get back here and whatever, I tried. So that's it? They're just gonna let Julie get away and give Apache secrets to the shady corporation or government or whoever she's working for? I still don't really know. Oh, and I also forgot Ken was her accomplice. That sex scene with Jessica went on for so long, I thought his only role in this movie was to be her love interest.
We're rich, baby. We're rich!
Yeah, I don't know if anybody got rich off this movie. Even the attempts to tie the different plots together don't make any sense.
Help me get rid of this junk.
What? What junk? Sorry, Daddy, I'm in a hurry. Ken's waiting for me at the ranch.
Weren't you just getting attacked by mutant zombies a second ago? You sure seem to have gotten over that pretty quick. And speaking of the zombies, it figures that this movie would wait until the very end to bust out some surprisingly competent-looking makeup effects. Actually, maybe it's not that surprising, since these were done by Dean Gates, who also worked on Day of the Dead along with a bunch of other movies. So nice to know this movie had at least one person who worked on it that knew what they were doing. And just when you thought this movie couldn't crank the what the fuck-ometer any higher, get a load of how it ends.
Emergency program code, protection Jessica.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense to me. While Nightmare Weekend isn't as infamous as some of the other notoriously bad movies I mentioned in this video, it's one that definitely deserves to be mentioned right alongside them. It is a true masterclass in confidently incompetent what-the-fuckery. Imagine if Neil Breen directed a movie for Canon Films in the 80s with a budget consisting of only leftover dollar bills they rolled up to snort cocaine, and that'll still only get you part of the way to what a mystifying watch this is. It is a baffling, frustrating, and yet weirdly fascinating B-movie experience. It has all the hallmarks of someone not from America misguidedly smashing together things they thought Americans in the 80s would like. Oh, nudity? Pinball? Computers? Zombies? Hand puppets? Why the hell not? Just string them together with something kinda sorta resembling a plot, give it a catchy title and a weird poster, and I'm sure somebody'll rent it from the video store. How this isn't more of a midnight movie favorite, I have no idea, but hey, maybe this video will give it a bit of a nudge. Gather some friends together and gasp in amazement at how anyone thought this could pass for a coherent piece of cinema. You might want to take the movie's advice for how best to view it, though. Well, that's all for now, and I for one am glad that there are no flying killer pinballs to remove my negative traits, mainly because I rely on them to make a living. Until next time.
You may look innocent, but you're a slut just like your mother.